This is a boat I am very excited to bring you. This is the very latest from Princess Yachts. This is the Princess Y80. It's very much state of the art for Princess. This is right what they're doing right now, and it is fantastic. So as ever, we're going to give you the full tour and take you into every area. So we're going to do the interior, the crew cabin, the engine space, the decks, the lot. And we're going to start here in the cockpit. I'm going to show you this. Now this has got an interesting option because as standard you get the seating that's, if I spin around here in fact, that's more like this, where you're the conventional hoop of seating around a table. The option on this, which this boat has, is the infinity transom. What they've done with this is bring the glass transom all the way down, put the seat sideways on, and the advantage with this is it connects you much better with the water. You can imagine if you're sat on a bench facing into the boat, you're not really looking at the seascape, whereas with this, of course, you can. And what they've done with this, these will power in or out, so they can go back a bit for a bit more casual, relaxing, or you can bring them in. The table unfolds, it's folded in half at the moment, it also comes up, and that makes that a really nice dining area. And because the bases stay where they are, and it's just the this section of the seat that slides, you don't have tracks in the floor, which is rather nice. Quite often with sliding seats you see tracks in the floor, which is never quite as elegant. And then finally in the cockpit you can have a servery here or another seat in this corner. But let's head on inside. I'm going to give you the full tour of the interior, and then we'll come out, we'll do all the deck areas, we'll do the back of the boat, the bathing platform, flybridge of course, everything. But check this out, isn't that beautiful? And what a social area this is, with these seats, everyone just sat casually, relaxing, facing each other around this beautiful table. That is a really, really nice place to be. If we look back here, we've got the wine cooler, we've got places for crockery, and that one there is a glassware. Oh, wrong one. All very Princess, isn't it? What I find interesting is that they're starting to reduce the amount of wood, so you're getting much more of this type of finish and then the wood accents, and it does lighten it up. Actually, it looks really nice. And typical Princess, and talking of wood, look at the way they've done all of this. It's absolutely beautiful. I always say this with Princess, they're an expensive boat, but in all senses of the word, it's a proper quality product. And the space in here is terrific. It just feels really open. These windows drop all the way down, as you can see. Fabulous. And little discreet bits of lighting up in places like this. Very, very nicely done. Dining area is up here, as you've probably worked out for yourself. So nice big table again with a great view out across the water when you're obviously not in a marina alongside other boats. And then opposite this we have the galley. Now you can have this so it can be closed off, so you've got sections that come up to enclose it and then a door that comes across. This one's been done open plan. It just depends how you run the boat. But nice big area, a lot of refrigeration over here. So we've got the fridge. You probably know what a fridge looks like. Freezers are underneath. We've got a dishwasher just here. Cutlery. And then cooking over here. Load more storage. Load more storage. Extractor fan. All the kind of stuff that you would expect. And also here there's a side access door, which is very handy, but particularly useful if you have got this area enclosed. It means the crew can come and go without going through the main guest areas. And then if we come on forward, it's a similar deal here. This one is open plan, but you can have this closed off if you want to make this into a separate crew area. So that comes across here, which means you still have the day heads just here. There we go. There's of course blinds that come down over the windows for privacy. And the helm is here, and in fact there's another side door here as well. You can see it straight out onto the side deck, so very, very helpful for the skipper. All the usual instrumentation you'd expect. You've also got the bonning system on this one, so this is controlling the whole vessel. So we hit the home button and we can go into lighting, for example, so navigation lights on the outside of the boat. We can go into AC power control, all that kind of stuff. So the whole boat really is switched from here. You can see the engine instrumentation on here if we want to, and so forth. Climate controls on here, etc. So that's that little fella. Usual kind of stuff. throttle controls, trim tabs, VHF radio, searchlight control. Autopilot is on here, that's just over here. Bow and stern thruster on this one. Very nice. And of course all this is finished in a very low glare material, so that during the day you don't have the sun brightening this up and then reflecting it on the screen. Little area up here, lovely little breakfast area or little nook, and of course if you've got this closed off with a bulkhead then that becomes like a little crew mess area. Fantastic. Let's head on a bit further. A lot to see on this one. Love this stairway down. This is quite decent bits of storage in there. I think that's the vacuum cleaner. And then look at this lobby area down here. Isn't that lovely? Again, you're seeing that beautiful Princess woodwork, or this beautiful fluted wood. There's different choices on here. This is the walnut in a matte finish. You can have a high gloss finish. You can have 2 shades of oak, and there's also a silver oak, which is more like a sort of grey finish. Bits of storage around. This boat's actually in use. It's an owned boat, so hence we are seeing bits and pieces of gear on it. We're going to head forward first of all, I think, and then we'll work our way back. Again, you're seeing a lot more of these light panels rather than traditionally you would have wood down the sides, and it does brine it up. It's a nice job. Love these little bits of stainless steel trim about the place as well. Very impressive. And that then is your VIP guest cabin. Lovely, isn't it? AV equipment in here. Wardrobes. Well, one wardrobe, but I think there is another one. This is more storage all the way along here, down underneath here. I won't open it all, obviously, but you get the idea. Another thing you've got on here is an escape hatch. So that's up in the ceiling there. You push that little button, and then, in fact, I can probably show you, can't I? Let's have a look. There we go. That's up in the ceiling, and there's an emergency ladder there that drops down to enable you to escape. Hopefully you'll never need it. Nice to know it's there. Over on this side then, little dressing table, and I was right, wardrobes. Fantastic. More storage here and underneath the bed as well, so there's big drawers down here. Thusly. There we go. I love the lighting in here. In fact, the lighting is an interesting point, because if we look at the light switches, we've got different settings that you can have. So if I come around here to demonstrate, so you can see what I'm doing, if I push that one there, which is full light, I think that's what we're on. But then you can also have a much dimmer light. So that's that one, and it brings it down to there. We've got a reading light on as well at the minute. They're switched by the bed. That's why one's on and one's off. And then we can go from there to night setting, and that brings it right down like that. So we just have the very low level ambient lighting, and then there's off, which, as the name suggests, turns it all off. Let's go back to full beam. There we go. That brings it all back up again. Very nice. Okay. Oh, ensuite. You forgot the ensuite. Where's that? Behind me. That's why I didn't see it. There we are. That's in here. Really good size again, as you can see. So we've got a lot of floor space here. We've got the basin in here as well, of course, and then a really nice shower, rainfall shower. There we go. So that is that. All right, let's head on back a bit further. I love the way they've angled things like this, the way this sweeps down rather than just going straight. The detail on these is just fantastic. It really does feel like a quality product. So in here we have got, this is cabin 4, I think I'm right in saying, going by size. So the one we just looked at is cabin 2 because it's the VIP. This one has got single beds, but you can power these together. There's a button that brings them in, and you can make that into a double if you want to. Again, with the storage about the place, drawers under the bed, that kind of stuff. And then all the cabins on this boat are ensuite, so this one has its ensuite in here. And of course, none of these are also day heads, because the day heads, as we saw, is up on the main deck. So that's that one, and then if we cross over, this is cabin 2, so sorry, this is cabin 3. So this is the third biggest, and a really nice size. Look at that, proper island double bed in there. Big square bedroom actually, isn't it? It's great. We've got, I won't again open it all, but wardrobes over here, storage down over here, storage down along here. A lot of space to tuck things away, even up in places like this. You've got places for things, and you've also got an ensuite, of course, that's in here. Toilet, sink, rainfall shower. Love the floor in these showers, actually, it's really nice. Okay, little dressing table as well in that one. Very nice. So that's the 3 guest cabins. The owner's cabin then is back here. There is a bit of storage on this side, and the laundry facilities are in the crew area. However, there is space in that one. If you wanted a washing machine in here, you could have it. But that's very useful for crew gear, linen, whatever else you want to put in there. This then, owner's cabin. Look at this. Full beam of the boat, of course. Let's close that behind me. Back right out over here. How nice is that? And again, you're seeing these lovely fluted panels and the nice finishes. It's just beautiful. Massive hull windows. I'm not really getting the advantage of these because we're alongside another boat, but you can imagine when you're out at sea what kind of view you get out of those. And then if we come back here, we have the ensuite. Biggest in the boat, of course, to match the biggest cabin in the boat. Got the shower at the end there, heated towel rail. It's very, very nicely done, isn't it? Storage underneath, of course. And the loo is at this end. Let's have a little look in here. Yeah, very good. All the windows obviously have blinds. These circular sections are opening sections. You can see them dotted around. So if you want some fresh air through here, then you can have it. You can see it here as well. We haven't done a mirror wave. I'm going to get told off. There we go. Nice. Very, very nice. 55-inch TV in here. And obviously it's linked up with the speakers up above. Yet more storage around the place. So this one's got the Princess towels in it. And if we come over this side, or the dressing table we mentioned, like so, and if we come on back, there is a walk-in wardrobe back here. So hanging space, more hanging space, the safe is in here. We've got drawers in here. These are all the instruction books for the boat. If I move that one out of the way, every bit of kit on the boat comes with an instruction book, and they're all in here. Look at this, in this one and in this one, so that's why the flight cases are there. Fantastic. So there we go. I think that covers off the interior. A lot more to show you. We've got the outside, obviously, we've got the flybridge, we've got the crew cabin, we've got the engine space. Let's carry on. Doesn't that look impressive? You do get an impression of the size of the boat from here, don't you? It's just fantastic. Okay, let's head on up. I like the way I put the window in here so you can see the sea as you come out round. That is superb. And this, when you come up here, it's so open. This, I think, is one of my favourite areas. I love the idea that you can sit here and just gaze out over the back of the boat, chat to your friends. Lots of light, lots of space. Just a real luxury experience. Okay, we will head up to the flybridge next, I think. Love these teak steps, the way they brought them down across here. And this is a full flybridge boat rather than one of the sort of the S style, for example, with a more compact flybridge. So if we go right to the back first of all and work our way forward, one thing you can have here, there's a couple of options actually. You can have a hot tub here rather than sunbathing, and of course then it would probably have a lid on it which would have sunbathing on top of it anyway. But also you notice there's a split here, and that's because this can be used for a crane, which will be concealed inside there. You open that up, bring the crane out, and that will lift a tender or a jet ski up onto here. I think it'll take up to about a 395 Williams, so pretty decent tender. So if you want that up out of the way, you can do, or as I say, you can put it on the bathing platform, put a jet ski up here, or just leave it open as we've got at the moment. These are life rafts. There's one each side. Sea bobs, lovely little seating area. And if you come right to the back, you get the impression of the size of this. Look at that, it's huge, isn't it? Up on top, navigation equipment, so radar, GPS antenna, TV antenna, nav lights, all that sort of stuff, all tucked up out of the way. This hardtop is an option. As standard, you would get a radar arch, This is one of the hardtop options. There's another option where you can have glass panels in this, and another option where you can have louvered panels. And I did see a boat with louvered panels. I wonder if I can show you what they look like. Not very well, but that one right at the end there, it's got louvered panels on it. It's not a very good demonstration. Let's rewind. There we go. I'll edit that out later. So yeah, sunbathing here. Lovely dining area, and you'll see there's a centre section of the table. You can slide that out. So if you're dining, you can have it the full size it is now. If you're just sat around having a drink, you can take that out, and then people can move in and out to the centre there without having to shuffle around. Bar area is here. Usual levels of equipment, so things like the ice maker and bin, which appears to be full of wine at the moment. Bit of storage in there, glasses, that kind of thing, and then a huge drawer fridge that comes out like this. And of course, the barbecue. And if we come on round a bit further, well, then you've got the helm position. Love the way they've wrapped the seating around this. When you're underway, it's a wonderful place for people to gather. In fact, what you can do with this one as well is you can slide a section out and turn that into a sunbathing area. That's why it's got that sort of section at the back there where people can just lie out, chat to whoever's at the helm. Just a really great place to be when you're underway. That's fantastic. Bit more storage over here. Forgot to show you that. For you fellow storage freaks. And then up here, we've got the twin helm seats, the Raymarine screen and the Bonning screen again. So all that stuff I showed you downstairs in the Bonning, you can access from here as well, thusly. And then the steering wheel, which needs to be straight. There we go, that's better. You'll notice the weighted badge in the centre, so actually wherever you leave that, the badge will be in the right place. Brilliant. There we go. And again, same sort of idea really. So bow, stern, thrusters, throttle controls, VHF radio, autopilot, all that kind of stuff is all controlled from there. And the view up from here, well, that is pretty magnificent. Look at that. Just superb. We're in Cannes at the moment on a slightly grey day. I brought the English weather with me. Let's carry on. So that seating area is the bit that pulls out. You can convert that into a sunbathing space if you want it. Yeah, isn't that a fabulous flybridge? Just superb. All right, let's press on a bit further. We've got decks to do. There's a lovely foredeck area, actually. Let me go and show you that. I want to show you this as well. All of this metalwork here, you can see it's like an oval section. It's not just round. It's got that sort of real super yacht feel oval to it, and it's thick. Look, I can't even get my fingers to touch when I put them around my finger and thumb. It feels so solid. Everything you touch on here, it feels like a really substantial boat. This is passerelle control down here. The passerelle extends out of here. Also, stern to winches, so that when you're stern to the quay, you can put a line around there and pull yourself in. And this is the way forward. There we go. Y80 Princess. These massive windows that we saw. And again, all these rails, oval section, really chunky, really, really nice. This is the side door from the galley, and then as we step up again, look, they put lighting into all of these as you go up. Beautiful. This is the side door from the helm. And these cleats, attention to detail on here, look. So you've got your stainless steel section so that the lines don't rub, but they overlap. I don't know how you can see that, so that as the lines come off down to the pontoon, they're not rubbing on the gel coat. Storage here for deck gear, plenty of. And then look at this here. Normally you have sunbathing and then a seat here. This, they've taken it all to an entertaining space, and that's really good, because if you are stern to in a port somewhere, and that's normally how you berth when you're in the Mediterranean, well then this becomes a really private spot on the boat. But it's nice also when you're underway to set up here on the bow, watch where you're going. It's a really great place to be. You can infill this, so that whole section there, sort of line across here, imagine that filled in with cushions, will make a massive sunbathing area. So if you do want the sunbathing up here, you can certainly have it, but of course you don't have to. That in the centre is the escape hatch that we saw from that forward cabin. That's where that comes out. And another thing that this one's got here is refrigeration. I think I'm right in saying. I couldn't quite see because there's cover in there, but I think that's what it's got. If we back up a little bit, At least people walking around with selfie sticks, making videos, honestly. What's the world coming to? I'm being ironic. Twin anchor winches, twin anchors, windlasses I should say, let's get the terminology correct. So yeah, some pretty serious ground tackle there. These are hatches down, I'll show you, down to the anchor lockers. Edit out later, etc. This is the hatch down to the anchor locker. Look at the size of that. It's massive, isn't it? It's actually a pretty good place to store gear as well. And if we come on down the other side, again with the storage lockers, I'm interested in these. They've changed the wipers on the latest boats. So this one here has got the new wiper system. We've got the Y85, that's got the new wiper system on it. Somebody else up there doing a video. I've started a trend, haven't I? They're all so much prettier than me though. That one over there is the older style with the pantograph wipers. So yeah, this seems to be a new thing that they're doing. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm sure there's an excellent reason for it. Okay, let's power on down here and I'll show you around the back of the boat. I'll show you the crew cabin and I'll show you the engine space. So back out to this cockpit. High-low bathing platform. This will also take a Williams 395, so a pretty substantial rib. And also, there's Paul. Hello, Paul.
How are you?
Very well. Paul, you might remember from our charter videos. We did a couple of charters. We did a Princess 72 and we did a Sunseeker, and Paul was our excellent skipper. And Paul is now running charters on this boat. So I'll put a link to those guys in the description if you want to charter it. It's out in Mallorca? In Calidore. Fantastic. So yeah, worth checking out. I'll put a link in the description. High-low platform we've talked about, nice little seat out here as well. Oh, I'll tell you what else is over here. This is a very useful storage locker. Deck gear. There's also like a swimming pool style ladder there that can be put into the bathing platform. So if you're swimming, then that's a really nice way in and out. What am I doing here? There we go. And then this one is the access to the crew cabin. There we go. Now there are options in here as well. So I'll try and explain those to you. This one has got quite a big crew cabin on this side with the berths like this. But what you can have is, if you imagine this berth here done as a bunk bed here, and then this cabin made a little bit smaller as a result, because you could put then the bulkhead across here, that would leave room for a mess area here. So if you want a mess area down here, you can have it. Bear in mind it has got that area next to the helm though, so on this boat they've chosen not to. Storage about the place, obviously. But yeah, decent sized cabin that. And then there is a second cabin over on this side. This one is done, it's like a captain's cabin, so it just has a single bed in it. But again, if you want bunk beds, you can have them. So you can sleep up to 4 crew, and you can have that mess area if you wish. And then again, storage about the place in here. And in here, obviously, this is all air conditioned and that kind of stuff. So yeah, 3 options on the crew cabins. You can either have what we've got here, or you can have the version with the mess area, or you can have the bunks in there and the mess area. And then of course there's a heads for these guys, that's down here. Separate shower, nice little sink. All very nicely done, isn't it? A bit more storage here, and if I close that over, makes a difference, doesn't it? Laundry facilities are in here. Washer and dryer. Washer and dryer, let's get it the right way around. Here we go. And last but not least is the engine space. Check this out. 3 engine options for this boat, all MAN, all twin shaft drive, 1800 horsepower, 1900 horsepower, or 2000 horsepower. This one has got the middle one, so these are 1900 horsepower each. They're giving the boat sort of 33 to 35 knots, that sort of area. At 25 knots cruise, she's got about 350 miles of range. as ever, drop it back to displacement speeds. So 11.5 knots, for example, will give you over 1,000 miles. So just depends how you want to run the boat. Run it slow, get some serious distance, but you've also got the performance there if you want it. They are a conventional shaft drive. You can see engine is here, gearbox is on the back, shaft goes out here. Very simple, very Princess. Air conditioning chillers are here. There's also a water maker on this particular boat. That's this little chap up there. Yeah, big meaty engines, aren't they? Absolutely fantastic. We've got the battery systems here, so charging, inverter, all that kind of stuff, all the master bolt stuff is there. Control panels for the engines are here as well. And these are the fuel tanks on the outside. Generators too. I think I'm right in saying 27 kilowatts. There's one there, and then there's a second one over here. So very well specified. Fire system is here. This is the hydraulics for the thrusters, bow and stern. And the other thing we have in here is this ladder, which takes you straight up. So it's either an emergency exit straight up onto the aft deck, to the cockpit where that table was, just between that and the doors. Or, of course, it means you can get down into here without going through that transom door. So if you're out at sea, you want to come into here, that's probably a better way to do it. Look at the size of these silencers and exhausts on here. It's big league, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Alrighty, again, it's all very Princess. Look at this, proper big battery boxes. The batteries aren't just bolted down to the floor, they're in proper sealed boxes and then ventilated, and everything is labelled. So you can see battery box vent, but if you look around the boat, you'll see that kind of thing everywhere. Here we go, cockpit drain, for example. So wiring, plumbing, all that sort of stuff. As you look around, you can see the little yellow tags on it. Yellow, what am I talking about? You can see the little blue tags on it. Edit later. They're everywhere. There we go. These are the raw water strainers, so these are putting the seawater in. They go through heat exchangers and they cool the fresh water that's cooling the engines, a bit like a radiator on a car. Fantastic. All right, I think that's a pretty comprehensive tour. Look at the headroom in here, though. I'm 6'1" or 6'2", I can never quite remember. Plenty of standing headroom. All right, let's come back out of here. Let's close that one back over. There we go. Isn't it quiet with that shut? Makes such a difference. More storage here. All right, that's enough storage fetish. Let's get on. Okay, there we go. Look at these hinges on here. The quality on this boat is absolutely everywhere. It's fantastic. There we go. Shore power goes in here, so that's neatly out of the way, and that's where the passerelle extends from for the stern to berthing. There we go. I think that's about it. Let's wander up to the bow, because that's a good place to finish, and the sun's come out, so I'll show you Cannes in the sunshine. There we go. Brilliant. And that, my friends, is about the size of that. Massive, massive thanks to Princess Yachts, who closed this boat off in its entirety for me so we could get you a really good film of it. Huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. But do let me know what you think of that one, and we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.